a note on 300. Uh, an interesting story. Some will dismiss it as just a cartoon. They fight, uh, but then there's so much use of special effects that the people are not really important. The actors, some say, it's not what happened in history. It's exaggerated, and so they dismissed the film. On the other hand, it had a huge impact. I'm thinking even here there would be some groups attached to football teams, and especially one that took the Spartan uh, battle cry from the film. It, of course, know little of history, and especially such a delicate part, such a long time ago, and dedicated to just one battle and what happened, what they cried there. But from the film, well, they have a popularized, anesthetized, maybe version of history. Oh, oh, oh! So that's they took the battle cry. Um, but the original story, so the other way, is to be a merit finder and look at what 300 can give you, and it's an entertaining film. And besides, it has a message coming from history, because indeed we had a very um, strong leader, role model, brave, resilient, determined, loving of country, Sparta, King Leonidas. Gerald Butler, I think his career took off after this 300, which was appreciated by the public. There's Lena Headey, now known for her presence in Game of Thrones, Queen Gorgo, and there's Michael Fassbender. I must say I missed him, so he was probably also on the rise back then. Stelios, and there's Xerxes as the opposing king, and this is Thermopylae, 480 BC, when the film, the title would have it that more than 100,000 people fought with 300, or the other way around. Well, there weren't exactly only 300. There were 700 Thebans. There were Thespians. I'm sorry, 400 Thebans. And even so, it's a huge contrast, a huge difference. And what is also overwhelming is the fact that, were it not for betrayal, these 300, granted in a good position, surrounded by rocks and blocking the way for the huge army, which had to send small units, so to say, which were crushed and then crushed, but still it's incredible. Over 3 days to fight non-stop, basically. It's superhuman. And indeed, we have in history, this is such a case, examples of Übermensch, of superheroes. We don't need Superman, a cartoonish character that indeed flies. The Spartans did everything but didn't fly through the sky. And it is a wonderful story of strength, physical but mostly psychological. Maybe it's one of the earliest proofs in psychology of what grit means. Now it's proved that grit, resilience, is twice as important, anyway, much more important than, if it's not exactly 2.0, maybe it's 2.2, more important than IQ, than intelligence. And it is a lesson to be learned, that we have it within us to overcome major, if not any adversity, major traumas. And the example of these 300 that died to the last man, indeed at the end, and it's known, there's no spoiler here, is such a story that we should remember.